extreme pleasure for us to host such a wonderful audience on this delightful evening. We welcome you all to the first official meetup of OWASP RGIPT. So without wasting much time, let's begin with today's event as we proceed to acquaint you with our goals, visions, endeavors, and upcoming plans. Now let me give you a brief introduction on what OWASP is. So OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project. It is a non-profitable foundation improving the security of software through its 189 projects, including 20 flagship projects. Through community-led open source software projects, over 200 local chapters worldwide in more than 56 countries, tens of thousands of members, and leading educational and training conferences, the OWASP Foundation is the source for developers and technologists to secure the web. Its mission is to make application security visible so that people and organizations can make informed decisions about application security risks by promoting DevSecOps. Some contributing members towards this mission are Best Buy, Autodesk, White Hat Security, Twitter, Adobe, Facebook, Oracle, and many more. As a unit of this profound mission, OWASP RGIPT Student Chapter was established with a vision to build an environment on the campus and the further that produce coders and developers in the institute who understand the need of DevSecOps. You must be wondering what DevSecOps is. So DevOps is all about the unification and automation of processes and is instrumental in combining code, application maintenance, and application management. When security is integrated with DevOps, it becomes DevSecOps, combining automation, design, and security. OWASP promotes DevSecOps, that is implementing a secure pipeline and using best practices and introducing tools to develop secured applications. So before moving forward, I would like to call upon Dr. Gargi Srivastava, who is also the faculty advisor of OWASP RGIPT, to throw some light upon the work culture of OWASP RGIPT and the aims that we strive for.
And everyone, Pramay, Harshit, Ariman, and all other who are involved in delivering a series of lectures will be quite proud to host it online with so many people together. So you have all chosen to be a part of OWSP because of your mutual passion for learning, right? So your passion will help you to unite, and this energy will help you to gain your individual or group goals. So we are grateful to you for joining this chapter. Okay, and in the following minutes, you will be learning about different topics, which will give you a taste of what this community can become. So I hope all these lectures and this mentoring by different hosts and different participants will help you to grow, be more productive and intelligent. And so I'll leave it to the host who will fill on you with the more details. Okay, so have fun and full of learning. Okay, and once again, I welcome all of you to this chapter and this meetup. So Harsh, you can take it from here.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. On our way to promote the flow and advent of knowledge on secure application development, we will be conducting several programs and hosting technical events, sessions, and competitions. The foremost is IIDF, the International Interdepartmental Technical Fest of the CSE, EC, and Mathematical Science departments that aim to create and radiate innovative technical spark among the students and tech enthusiasts from across the globe. We are elated to announce that RGIPT is going to observe the most prodigious fest in its history in the form of IIDF, powered by OWASP RGIPT Student Chapter and RGIPT ACM Student Chapter. The events will range from webinar workshops, fun nights, celebrity nights, internship carnivals, gaming events, and many more such exciting events. IIDF is a novel fest that will witness its second edition, this time in hybrid mode, having events in both online and offline mode. So do not miss the opportunity of becoming a member of the core organizing team in verticals of your preference. Added to this, the OWASP RGIPT Student Chapter brings you the Metaverse of learning, where we not only teach you, but will also ensure ample involvement of every student in the process of learning. This process will comprise a plethora of topics such as introduction to cybersecurity, blockchain, cryptocurrency, reverse engineering, and many more. The complete list is displayed on the screen. I will kindly zoom the screen so that everyone can see the list. Yeah, now it's so everyone, you can see the full list on the screen. Now this program commences from today itself, so make sure to join us and give yourselves a nudge in your career. Now I'd like to call upon our mentors to briefly introduce the respective topics. Arman, over to you now.
Hello. Yeah, so thank you, Harsh.
Yeah.
So I will be your instructor for the first course you are going to study with us. That is blockchain A to Z. I am Ariman Raj, pre-final year student at RGIPT, and in this course we will go through a journey to learn and know this topic of blockchain and all the decentralized architecture around it. The course will be divided into 3 phases, the foremost of which will be to help you evolve the intuition of what blockchain is and the whole Web3 and decentralized architecture. Let me show you the topics. So the first topic, the intuition phase will include topics from what is blockchain, SHA-256 cryptographic algorithm, what immutable ledgers are. Some of these topics you might have heard around, but we will dive into each one of them separately and learn about it thoroughly. Budgeting, fault tolerance, proof of work algorithm, etc., etc. The second phase will be us getting our hands dirty with the proper coding of a blockchain, and the topics that are included here will range from, we will start with Python fundamentals, that Python will be our language of choice for coding our blockchain. The Flask framework, that is a framework of Python if you don't know. Postman is a API testing platform, and other implementations of proof of work, hashing algorithms, and etc. etc. And the next, after all this, we will be well equipped to dive into the main challenge that we have kept for ourselves in this course, that is making our own cryptocurrency. We will be calling it a WASP coin named after OWASP, obviously. So I can assure you, by the end of this course, you will be able to make your own cryptocurrency and any such decentralized applications. Next up, I would like to introduce you to the course of an introduction to cybersecurity. This will be taken by our president, Mr. Pramay Singh Shori. Sadly, he could not make it to the meeting today, but here is a brief to what all topic he will be teaching. First of all, he will give you an introduction to Linux operating system in Kali to be specific. Then we will go through and learn what is security, what is cybersecurity, application security, ethical hacking, etc., etc. And then we will get into pen testing. Here we will learn about what manual pen testing and automation is, and what are the values of manually pen testing our way through it. Next, I would like to call Mr. Harshit Singh, the president of OWASP RGIPT, to brief us about his topic.
Thank you, Ariman. Hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, so hello everyone. I'll be taking your course on Flutter and Firebase. So Flutter is a SDK, a software development kit. We will be using it for developing cross-platform apps. On Flutter, we can build the apps for various platforms with a single code base. And we'll be using the backend services, Firebase, which is provided by Google itself. And we'll be using its various features, for example, authentication. We will practice phone OTP authentication, Google and Facebook, and many more. Other services that Firebase provide us will be the Firebase database and cloud messaging, etc., etc. So let's see what will be the learning throughout this journey. So we'll be starting with very basic. That will be the basics of Flutter framework, understanding Dart programming language. Then we'll be designing some UI on the Figma. Then we'll move on to the Flutter front-end part, where we will be practicing the various UI like Instagram and WhatsApp. That will be helpful for you to build real world applications. Now, after properly understanding the Flutter framework, we will work on adaptiveness and responsiveness of the app. Moving on, we'll be learning state management and API integration, and that will be the our last step. And this understanding of Flutter framework will really help you to get a good internship, I assure you. Now, to make the app completely functional, we'll be integrating the backend using either RESTful APIs or Firebase backend, as I have already mentioned. Adding more to the functionality, we'll send the push notification to our users, add animations through code. We'll also implement the very important native features of our devices like location, camera, storage, etc. So this is all we need to become a software developer. At last, we will end this by building a fully functional cross-platform e-commerce application. And we'll be good to go for a real world. And thank you, everyone. Now I'll like to call Nikhil for Blender's tutorial.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so good evening, very good evening to everyone. I am Nikhil Verma. So in the Blender tutorial, we will gonna learn about the Blender 3D basic modeling. Actually, it's not an advanced course. It just give you a knowledge about the 3D modeling and how could you make a 3D model of any kind of object by your imagination simply. Okay. Okay, so this course is for only of 3 days, in which the day one there is an introduction of Blender. Okay, Blender is a software I think most of us will know about it, and for the 3D modeling, not only for the 3D modeling, but it's also used for the VFX and 2D modeling and some other purposes. But we are only learn about the 3D modeling. So first today we will learn about the shortcuts. Actually, the 3D modeling is a typical process by particular manual method. So we will learn about some shortcuts. Then what are their menus and what kind of objects we will use for our purposes. Then I will give you a full viewport guidance that which viewport it share with us. Then malfunctions and precaution. Actually, this is a term which we use that if we not take a proper approach, then the Blender will take some malfunctions on us. And what kind of precautions we will take, so we will neglect it or we can avoid it. Then the transformation. Transformation is a term which we gonna learn in the tutorial. Then there is a second day. Second day, there is a brief transformation and modifiers. Actually, in this assembly, object transformation with selection. For any kind of object, we need a basic shape and which kind of shape we will have to choose so that our purpose will be very easy to make that 3D model. So we will gonna learn about this. Then geometry selection. Geometry is a thing which will come to know when we make the 3D objects. And proportional editing, shading, modifiers, modification examples. Modifiers are the tools which we use to make the realistic looks or realistic effects on our material, or we will say our 3D object. Then auto smooth and harden normals. It is an important term which will be realistic effect on our object. And in the last day, we will do some final modeling. Final modeling, actually, when you have weapons, but you don't know that how to drive with those weapons, then they will be totally useless. So in the third day, we will go the final modeling, in which we do some shape selections, obviously, because shape selection is very important. As I already told you, that when we are making 3D modeling or doing some 3D modeling, then we need some basic shapes, because Blender don't give you the whole sum. It gives you some basic shapes by which the transformation, rotation, scaling, you will make the total or whole object. Okay, so we will make some safe selections. Then inset and extrude, it is a important term which we're gonna know. And reference image modeling. Okay, so reference image modeling, by its name, I will say that reference, when we will do or making something, then there is a reference we will use so that our work will be very easy. So reference image modeling is the modeling by using the reference images of the objects. And with this reference image modeling, we will model the modeling and shading of table and chair. Okay, so with the reference images, we do table and chair modeling and the 3D term also, obviously. And then the shading. Shading is a term which will be used when we are shading this thing to make the our objects very realistic. For example, the wooden shade, the metallic shade, and the soft shade, etc. and etc. So this is a very interesting course, and you will gonna love it and very enjoying it actually. Okay, so for the next course, this is the VFX and film production course, and for this, I'm gonna invite Mojesh Kumar Makur. Please take from here.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mojesh Kumar, pre-final student RGIPT. So during the Metaverse of Learning Weeks, I'll be delivering few lectures on VFX and film production using Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, as I mentioned, Adobe Creative Cloud. So let me explain what is it. Adobe Creative Cloud is a set of applications and services from Adobe that gives us access to softwares for graphic design, video editing, web development, and many more services. Some of the softwares that we are primarily going to use for video editing and visual effect purposes are Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Media Encoder. These softwares are contained within Adobe Creative Cloud palette. Now let me come to the course plan. So for the course plan, we have first we will learn about Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is a software that we generally use for video editing and audio editing. And these days it is quite popular. Now let me explain what you will learn in Adobe Premiere Pro. I'll be not discussing about the installation part. I'll be just telling about the use like workspace and workflow, importing footage, managing assets, editing sequence and clips, editing audio, titling, effects and transition, animation and keyframes, compositing, exporting. When I say exporting, I mean that we'll be exporting using Media Encoder. This is another software that I have mentioned. Now, for the final part, we'll be learning about Adobe After Effects. Adobe After Effects helps us to make animations, motion graphics, and visual effects. Unlike Adobe Premiere Pro, it deals with the visual effects and motion graphics part more than as compared to the video editing part. Similarly, here also we will learn about workspace and workflow, keyboard shortcuts. I'll be teaching you about keyboard shortcuts and how to use it. Projects and composition, importing footage, layer and properties, animation and keyframes, drawing, painting, and paths using masks, text, transparency and compositing, rendering. Rendering is a very important part, and I'll be telling you about in detail. That's all from my side. Now for an introduction to reverse engineering, instructor Nimish Dude will explain.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Nimish.
Yes, Nimish, you are audible.
So this course of reverse engineering will be a course where we will be learning how to extract useful information from binaries. As we know, binaries are the files which are made after we compile a program using a specific compiler, like for example GCC for C code, we will here learning about low-level softwares, like how the data management happens in the memory, the registers, the stack, the control flow of a program, and we will be learning about the tools which will help us decipher the main information which makes a binary. We will be learning about assembly language, which is we will be learning about compile. Um,
So thank you, mentors. Now with this, we'd like to wrap up today's meet. We also express our warm gratitude towards Gargi ma'am who has spared her precious time this Friday evening. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind cooperation, and thank you everybody for your kind of cooperation. Now, if anyone of you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. We have mentors with us. They can answer your questions. Guys, if anybody wants to ask some questions, please put up in chat box. Please put it up in chat box so that our mentors can answer.
One more thing I would like to mention, everyone, kindly put your roll number after your name so that we can know about you.
You all can edit your name. There will be a three dot showing after your name where you can edit your name.
Guys, please edit your names because we will be giving some early membership invite. So we need your actual names here. So Shaurya has one question. कितने देर की class होगी? So I think it would be of
Yeah, I will
1.5
answer
hours.
that. Sure, each class will be 1 to 1.5 hours, and it depends upon which topic we are teaching, that how many classes it will take.
So here comes the second question from Sub Sharma. What will be the frequency and the duration of the courses?
The
Arjun, please
frequency
answer
will
that.
be each weekend we will have Abhishek, you can edit your name by right clicking on your own name, and there will be an option to rename it. So I was answering that the frequency will be on each weekend, on 3 days weekend, I mean Friday, Saturday. Will start from tomorrow itself, and we will be going on at around 6 or 10. There are 2 slots. We will ask you, Ayush, can you make a poll for the same, whether people want it at 6 p.m. or 10 p.m.
Okay, okay. I'm making. Wait for 5 minutes.
Right.
Guys, please wait for the poll.
Priyanshu, the program will start from tomorrow itself.
Ayush, you can stop the recording so that everyone will feel comfortable to ask questions.